Hello, listeners. Today we are giving you a bonus episode talking about the 54th Annual High School Theater Festival coming up on March 21st. That's right, Friday, March 21st. My name is Cameron, treasurer of the Players of the Pear Garden.
And I'm Jason, president of the Players of the Pear Garden.
And I'm Scott, advisor of the Players of the Pear Garden.
And we are the podcast of the Pear Garden. Well, Scott, thank you for coming along today with our episode.
Thanks for having me.
We will be discussing about the High School Theater Festival today. What the heck is that?
The High School Theater Festival, it's, as you said, it's our 54th Annual High School Theater Festival. We actually invite high schools to come to CSUSB and take part in this giant theater festival that's led by you. It's actually led by the students. In the morning, whenever they arrive, the Players of the Pear Garden actually put on kind of an invitational event where there's theater games, there's stuff like that to keep them all entertained while we kind of sort them into their different houses, right, where they're going to be going next. That includes a scene, so they'll bring down a scene from, I think somebody's bringing down a scene from Beetlejuice Jr., right? So they're going to put on about a 7-minute long scene, and then other students will actually break off into a monologue competition. So they go off and to do their monologues, which are, I think 90 seconds is the maximum for the monologue segment. And depending upon how they do, they can actually win prizes. They can win scholarships. They can win, there's books that we give out that, just a lot of really cool, fun things, right? It's an opportunity for the students to actually, our students, to showcase what they've learned and pass it on to the younger generation, right? It's a great recruiting event. It's their opportunity to come on board, see the Barnes Theater, see all the different areas that they can possibly learn in if they decide to come here. They break out into lunch, and after they come back from lunch, we actually send them off to workshops. There's 2 different segments of workshops, right? Hour 1 and hour 2. You're leading a workshop, actually. What's your workshop about?
My workshop is going to focus on sound designing.
Sound design, okay. And Cameron, your workshop, what are you leading?
I'm going to be leading a workshop showing students how to translate their theater skills vocally and turn that into music skills so that students can get more work, not only in the theater field, but in musicals and the music field as well.
That's great. We've also got workshops in costume design. We've got scene painting workshops. I'm going to be giving a tour of the building that's going to include a virtual reality tour of the new building that we've got coming up. There's also going to be tours of the campus as a whole, just all sorts of different workshops. There's even going to be a workshop there for people who have already applied and been accepted to CSUSB to kind of figure out the next steps, or if they are interested in joining CSUSB, it's going to guide them through that application process. So there's a lot of different opportunities for students to come down and learn and figure out if CSUSB is the right fit for them.
I mean, it's a really great opportunity for students to learn about theater in a collegiate level. Right. What are some of your fond memories of previous high school theater festival workshops?
Oh boy, one of my favorites, and this is happening again, it's stage combat, right? So there's going to be a workshop in stage combat. I think it's going to be hand-to-hand combat this time around. But the first time I experienced the stage combat, it was actually sword fighting. And it was all taught by Professor Terry Donovan Smith, right? It was a lot of fun to watch. And I think that's going to take place in this space right here in the Black Box, too. So that's pretty cool. We are in the Black Box Theater, by the way. Another thing I really like is just the energy of the crowd, right? Whenever they first arrive, there's a lot of chaos as we all kind of meet down in the San Manuel Student Union, and just getting the students from the bus drop-off zone into the San Manuel Student Union, it's just pure chaos. And I'm usually at the check-in counter, so it'll be me and your co-advisor, Anitra. We'll be sitting there going through checking everybody in, making sure they've got their name badges, and the name badges actually have the names of the workshops they're supposed to be in, so no student will get lost. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a good time.
Awesome, yeah. Honestly, I mean, I have been involved with the previous 2 high school theater festivals as an assistant. And I mean, just for those experiences, it is a funny world where, as a tour guide, but also as working as an assistant for some the workshops here. Because for those who don't know, who haven't experienced, overall, the High School Theater Festival, you have your graduating class of the theater department. working and hosting some of these workshops, and they do have the ability to have assistants. So I was an assistant. Who was I for assistant for? I was assistant with an alumni named Matthew Bramble, and in his workshop, we were working on mumbling. So it was the art of essentially, how can you tell the story, how can you tell the subtext and context of a script without even saying a word? It all works with pitch, tone, and body movement. It was a really, really fun experience. The energy of that crowd was phenomenal. So last year, unfortunately, I couldn't necessarily help with the workshop specifically, but I had attended and visited a few with doing my tour stuff. But I know, Cameron, you had a few experiences as well.
Oh, I've had one experience, and it was an experience.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you. Because, when I was in high school, I didn't go to this. I started taking acting classes my junior year of high school, and that's when COVID hit, and I wasn't even aware of the High School Theater Festival here, so I'm really glad we get to talk about this now. But last year, I was an assistant for an alumni now. Her name was Cheyenne. She did a Foley art workshop, and for those who don't know about Foley art, it is the art of sound effects, and often what Foley artists do is they have their own little studio, and they'll have the film or animation or whatever they have playing, and they'll find ways to create the sound effects without having to actually do the action that would make the sound effect. So for example, a lot of times when a bone is being broken, it's the sound of a celery stick being snapped, and it's that sort of thing that we were doing. In my experience, it was a fun workshop, but what happened was while we were changing the hour 1 and hour 2 students back, a bird flew into the classroom.
Oh, sweet.
And it was my job to figure out how to get the bird out.
Yes, so what happened was, to give more context to our viewers and our listeners, the bird flew while no one else was there. I just left the door open because, sunlight. It's nice.
Generally good for you.
Exactly.
Generally, yeah.
Generally really good for you. So I left the door open, and the bird just flew in and started just hanging around the lights. I was trying to get it down and failing spectacularly. And I texted Cheyenne hey, there's a bird in the classroom. I don't know what to do. And then I went to go and find you, and I found you in the middle of a tour. And I was just there's a bird in the classroom. I don't know what to do. And that is when we discovered that this campus has an animal control.
They do indeed, yes.
So we call animal control, and we let the workshop continue while the bird is hopping from ceiling light to ceiling light.
Improv. You just kind of make it up as you go along.
And then you had 2 assistants, or Cheyenne had 2 assistants.
No, it was just me.
No, the bird was the
Oh,
other
yeah, the bird was the other assistant. Oh, no, and then we ended up getting 3 more assistants as pest control came.
Right.
Trying to get this bird out from the ceiling while the students are making
Animal
this
control,
work.
not pest control. They didn't kill the bird.
Yes, did not kill the bird. We got it out safely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to witness this, but I do. We.
I don't think it was fortunate to experience. It was very anxious from right.
I would have enjoyed it.
We have a chat that it's all members of PPG, right? And I recall when I was doing a group tour, just with different students that never came to campus. It's not part of High School Theater Festival. It was a whole other event that I was part of. And in the middle of my tour, I hear my phone just going crazy, right? So I check it, and I'm like, there's a bird, there's a bird, there's a bird. I wonder who this guy's, there's a bird. Everybody freaking out. And I'm just like, huh? It was awesome. But, we talk about these experiences because, although it was probably horrifying and petrifying for Cameron and Cheyenne.
Fantastic.
It's
a great story now.
It is a great story. High School Theater Festival, though, genuinely, it is, you may get birds, apparently.
I doubt you'll get another bird.
You
but
probably won't, but, it's kind of just proven to the point where it's just a lot of stuff happens. There's a lot of stuff happening. Life is chaos, but I think there's beauty with that, right? High School Theater Festival is just a fantastic opportunity for students overall to not only learn different skill sets of theater and learn that in the collegiate level, where if they do want to go into higher education, they pursue that career. But, just overall the experience right? Just overall the fun they have with their colleagues, faculty, staff that are also involved. Some of our current students here at PPG at CSUSB had attended their high school theater festivals, came here, and because of that event, they chose CSUSB for their undergraduates.
One of the coolest parts about it too is whenever you come here and you do these workshops, you get to learn from the students. You're not learning from us, right? Yes,
Right.
I'll give a tour, but I'm not teaching you how to sound design, right? The actual students who have worked these shows. You come here and not only can you act, but you can also work behind the scenes. You can work in design, you can work in tech. And you take that knowledge and part of your senior project is you craft these workshops. And it's really cool and a testament to the knowledge that you've learned whenever you're here, right? That you feel confident enough that you know what you're doing to the point where you can put on this workshop and kind of pass on that knowledge to the students. And that's what I really love about it. It's not just us old people who are the faculty here that are teaching everybody. It's you, right? And that's what I think makes it so special.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite thing, like, I always talk about my campus tours experience, but campus tours, theater, I think go hand in hand, at least for me personally. And my favorite thing about doing tours is just the aspect that I really get to connect with my students on a real human level of just saying, I was at your position at one point, and you could be at my position, if not better. And so a high school theater festival and being given the opportunity to either just, be an assistant as a workshop member or host a workshop, it is truly awesome. And I mean, I unfortunately did not have an opportunity to go to a high school theater festival or a thespian festival. Having to talk to a college student that went through their undergraduate career, and they share their experiences at the school that they were part of, I know for sure, for me personally speaking, it would definitely, I just felt much more of a better connection with them, right?
You think it would help influence their decision ultimately, right?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And if I can jump in real quick, when I applied for this campus, I did not know there was a theater arts department, mostly because I also wasn't looking at colleges at the time. But if I had known that there was a high school theater festival that I could have gone to and meet alumni and start getting familiar with the staff and faculty here and get to know some of the assistants that would eventually become my classmates, that would have been a great opportunity. So I'm really glad that we get to keep this tradition up.
Yeah. I like giving the idea that hopefully we could change or influence someone's world just a little bit, give inspiration.
Make somebody's life just a little bit better.
Yeah, so I think it's a really awesome opportunity, and that's why we're talking about it.
So if you're interested in coming to a high school theater festival, not necessarily this one, since it is, coming up really quick, just send, yeah, I know, right? By the time you see this, it might have already happened. Just send us an email at theaterarts@csusb.edu and we'll get back to you. Or, if you could share that with your teachers as well. We'd really be interested in having you come down here and take part in this great event.
Thank you for listening to our little bonus episode.
With that, Scott,
Yes, sir.
thank you for your time here.
Thank you.
Now, please subscribe, like, comment, let us know, tell us your thoughts. We appreciate you taking your time just to listen to us talk about a very special event that we absolutely love here at CSUSB. With that being said, we are the podcast of the Pear Garden.
I did it that time.